see, now we will be studying what is momentum. Okay, momentum has both direction as well as magnitude. Its direction is same as that of velocity. Okay, momentum is also a vector quantity. It takes up into consideration both direction as well as magnitude. Okay, and you see SI unit of momentum is kilogram meter per second, that is kg meter per second. Okay, and you see when we apply unbalanced force, at that time what happen, velocity changes, and if the velocity changes, momentum also changes. That means force is also directly proportional to momentum. Okay, what do that mean? Okay, where force is equal to what force happens, what happens when the velocity changes. Okay, that means the force also changes, right? And when the velocity changes, momentum also changes, because momentum is directly related to velocity, means they are all related to one another. Okay, now let us consider one coincidence out here, one situation out here. Okay, now, okay, what is unbalanced force? The force which is overcoming all the frictional force and enabling the body to move in the direction of the applied force is known as unbalanced force, isn't it? Now you see out here, when there is when a battery of a car is dead and when a person is pushing the car. Okay, at that time what happens is, they are pushing the car, but the car is not moving for the first time, and when you push more, the car is again not moving, and again you are pushing the car with a great vigor, right, than before. Then what happens, the car will move now. Why is this? Because the unbalanced force is overcoming the frictional force. There is a creation of the unbalanced force. That means the force applied by you is more than the frictional force. That is why the car will be moving now. Okay, now you see here, it means that the change in momentum of the car is not only determined by the magnitude of force, but also by the time during which the force is exerted. Yes, here one more thing is said, that see, when you are applying the same force, okay, you are pushing something, but one thing you are pushed for only 1 second and you left, oh, this is not moving. Now I push that thing for 2 seconds, okay, it is also not moving. Again I am pushing it till 10 seconds. Now you will see that object is moving. Okay, that means there is some relation with time as well, isn't it? The momentum, the relationship of momentum is with time as well, because if we put more force for the more time, okay, the body will move. If we put the force for the less time, the body will move less, or it will not move. Okay, that means we have taken out the relationship of momentum with time as well. Okay, now it may then be concluded that the force necessary to change the momentum of an object depends on the time rate at which the momentum is changed. Yes, now this is very important. The second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. That means the force which I am applying, okay, if you are here, okay, I am pushing you, and the force which I am applying to finally change your position, okay, in the direction in which I am pushing is known as momentum. Okay, you see here one more time, the second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum, okay, that is rate of change in momentum means change in the mass and velocity, product of mass and velocity of an object is proportional to unbalanced force in the direction of force. Okay, more force I apply, more is the change in the momentum. Okay, for the more time I apply, more is the change. For more force for the less time, less is the change. More force for the more time, more is the change. Okay, less force for less time, less change. Less force for more time, more change. Okay, that means what is the relationship in the second law of motion is that we are creating a relationship between time of application of force, okay, and then the momentum. Okay,